Hey everyone, it's Deanne Castro, Creative Memories Advisor. And I just got back from visiting my aunt in Washington State. She lives on Bainbridge Island, and it was so nice up there. The weather was amazing. I come back to Bakersfield and it's 100 degrees. So gosh, it's a little warm. But while I was up there, I was doing a advisor training with Cassie Olberg's group and a bunch of us advisors, and was learning from her team members, and it was a blast. And in between, I was playing around with a little bit of the paper that we were using, and I came up with something I hope you guys find a little interesting. So let's get started. I was using the new square and circle punches, and these are 1 3/4 inches each. And you've probably seen something similar to this. But what I did was I punched the squares and then I punched circles and then I cut them into triangles and added them to the border. And you can probably see that a little better on this one. So I have the squares and the circles on some cardstock and then a little bit more paper. So I'll show you what I did. You guys can let me know what you think. All right, so first I started with a 1 1/2 inch piece of cardstock. This one is going to be navy, and I've just got a piece left, so I'm going to cut the 1 1/2 inches out of it here. Okay, and then what I did was I took the squares, and I'm just using paper I've already used here. I'm going to cut the square, and then I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to cut the circle. Actually, I'm going to use this side for the square. So I'm going to use the wood grain for the circle. Okay. So it's the same piece of paper. It's got the gingham on this one side, and it's got the wood grain on the other. And this is out of the Seas Please paper pack. The cool thing I think about this paper pack is it's kind of divided into two different kinds or themes. It has the ocean type theme, but then it has kind of woodsy and adventure type colors in it as well. So there's the ocean and the fish and the dolphins and the whales and the boats, and then there's adventure. And they do go together, but they've made some really fun separate borders. So I'm going to move that out of the way here. So what I did was I took the circle and I just put some adhesive on it. If you guys want to use the repositionable, you're welcome to. I just tended to use the regular adhesive because I was running out of the repositionable up there. And then what I did, kind of for the sake of time here, guys, it's getting kind of late. I already punched the rest of these, so you'll need 5. You'll need 5 squares, 5 circles, and if the paper is directional, like on this one, the gingham was a little directional, so I had to make sure that when I cut it into a triangle, that the gingham was going kind of the same direction as the triangle. I'm doing it a little the opposite way on this one tonight. So I'm kind of lining up the direction on the wood grain, but it doesn't matter as much. Okay, so I'm going to stack a couple of these and I'm going to cut them into triangles. So I'm going to put one of the edges of the square up here on the cut line and the other side on the cut line so you can see it. outline is the left-hand dotted line on here. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to make sure that it lines up right on the edge of those corners. So when I cut it, it will be right on the edge there. Okay. So right where I want it to be. Make sure both of them are right there. I'm just going to cut it. Okay. So we've got 4 pieces there. I'm going to stack the rest of these and do the same thing. Just make sure those corners are right on the cut line. Just put that down and move forward. Okay, now this is a little bit of a guessing game. I'm just kind of putting the bottom, the long edge of this triangle along the bottom edge of this 1.5 inch piece about, it's not really even 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. See how I lined that up? Just a little bit there is showing on the bottom. And then I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to do the same thing, but on the opposite side. So you can either line it up like this, or if you're not quite comfortable guessing the sizing on that, you can turn it around and center it on there. Just make sure, the edge, the gap on there is about the same distance. So see how I did that? And then I'm just going to do it all the way down. So it really doesn't have to be perfect. I know I tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist, so sometimes it takes me a little bit longer, but I'm going to have to move that over a little bit because there's going to be too much of a gap there. Oops. Okay, see how for me there's too much of a gap in here, so I'm going to move this one over a little bit. Use my my multi-purpose tool. I'm going to add it in here and center it a little better. But still get that same gap on the top. Okay. See, that's a little more even. Okay, so I'm going to work my way down. So bear with me here. Didn't see any whales up there visiting my aunt this time, but I did get to go on the ferry for the first time. That was pretty cool. I had never been on a ferry that you drive your cars on, and most of the ones that I was on going back and forth from Seattle to Bainbridge Island this week was it held 202 cars. Wow, that's a lot of cars. And it was really fun just going across the canal, the waterway there, and seeing the different people and all of the trees and the wildlife. Really had a good time up there with my aunt. So I thought that was fun. I don't know if any of you have been up there or um, I know there's other advisors up there in Washington State. And so I'll give a shout out to you guys out there. Almost done here. Okay, now the ones on the end won't fit exact. So you just kind of put it on there, line it up, and then just trim off the edge of it for what you don't need. Okay, there's one side. This one on the other side. Off the excess. And there you got the basic border. Isn't that cool? I just thought that looked so fun. So I'm gonna look over here through the stickers and add a couple of stickers to this. Let's see, I've got Get Lost in the Beauty of the Wilderness, Loving the View, or Be Wild. Got a couple eagles here. I think I'm going to go with Loving the View. Gonna put that right here. It's kind of green. Maybe I don't want the green as much. There's much brown. Hmm. Got the navy. Sorry, guys. I didn't plan this out in advance. So this one looks a little too green. This is probably going to go on the next order that I show you what I'm working on. And maybe I like this one. This one's got a mountain on it. This looks pretty cool. Add this here. You can use foam squares if you want. Sometimes I don't. I just don't like my pages to be popped up quite that much. So I'll throw that on there. Add the eagle. And then maybe just add moose over here on the other side. And there we go. So quick and easy, so quick and easy. This may have been one of the shortest videos that I have, but you know what? I've got another quick and easy one coming up for next week too. So here's the basics. Oh, you know what? I didn't finish the rest of this. Sorry about that. Um, we need a 1 3/4 inch, and we can use a decorative blade. So it looked just fine the way it was on that, but I'm going to add a little bit extra here for us. So I'm going to cut a little bit off since I put in a decorative blade so that both sides are the decorative pattern. This one's going to be 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to put the other blade back in, put the original straight one back in there. And I'm going to cut this hot fudge at 2 inches just to finish this. So this was a shell shimmer. I'm going to add that to the back of this. I use the Victorian blade on this one. I'll turn this over, add some adhesive on this, and just give it a little more dimension. Now it's complete. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. Remember, if you like this video, check out my other videos. If you haven't already, to those who already have, thank you so much. But if you haven't, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell so you'll get notifications that when my videos come out. And if you have any questions, you want to email me, go ahead and email me at deannecmc2@yahoo.com. I'd be glad to hear from you. And for those of you who do not have an advisor, I'd be happy to help you out with any of your projects, any ideas or any products for your scrapbooking projects. www.creativememories.com/user/Deanne Castro. Please remember, if you already have an advisor, make sure that you stick with her. You get a hold of her for your products, order off of her website, and just let me know if you've made it. Okay? If you like the borders that you want to remake them. All right. I will talk to you next time. Have a great day or a great evening whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.